we'll be looking at sales territory assignments. And the first thing I want you to notice in that first bullet, it talks about the different types of records where these sales territories have been added to the system in 2023 R2. You see leads, contacts, accounts, and opportunities. And what that means is that you need to be using the CRM part of Acumatica to take advantage of this new feature. In a moment, we'll dive in and look at some details, but generally, when we set up these sales territories, you can configure them to work either by state, by country, or quote unquote other, and we'll take a look at what that means in a minute. And what that triggers is the ability to either have the system automatically assign sales territories for us or to manually override that and make our own choices. And then we'll close out with a look at some of the reporting capabilities this new feature brings. So back here in my local install of Acumatica, we're looking at the new sales territories screen. And what we see here is a number of these territories that I've configured. And I chose a structure that we see a lot in our customer base where we have state-based territories. So I've got Midwest, Northeast, et cetera, et cetera. And I have one at the top there called house accounts. And you see the territory type there is other. And we'll take a look at what that means. So I'll drill into this Midwest territory. And what we'll see up at the top of the screen is that territory type. So here is where I can toggle and make a choice about how I want this territory to operate. Because I've chosen by state, it's given me a list of states down here at the bottom. And I can add or remove different states and assign them to different territories. So you can see here, I have Alaska. It has not been assigned to a territory. So for whatever reason, I'm going to make Alaska part of my Midwest territory and save that. And that in itself doesn't do anything. But once I set that, as I go and enter new leads or prospects or opportunities into the system, anything with Alaska as the state will be automatically assigned to that territory. No need to use the assignment maps feature or anything else to make that happen. To take a look at what that means over here on a lead. So again, leads, prospects, and opportunities are all impacted. We're just going to look at this lead record as an example. You can see here I have Valerie Price, and the address on this lead is in Colorado. And Colorado was one of my Midwest territory states. So when I come over here to the CRM info tab, you can see there are two new fields that have been added in 2023 R2. There's the sales territory ID, where Valerie was automatically assigned to the Midwest territory based on her state. However, if we decide, say sales management decides this needs to be a house account or a house lead, so we're going to manage it a little bit differently, I can simply check the override territory box, and then I have access to this field, and I can choose my house territory, save, and now that's been reassigned. So pretty simple to set up, pretty simple to use. Everybody's going to have a little bit different structure there, but generally this, in our experience, this seems to meet most folks' requirements. Let's switch over now and look at reporting. And the first thing is to note that there is no new reporting that comes with the sales territory feature. However, it just becomes part and parcel of the built-in reporting that a lot of you are used to using inside of Acumatica. And by that, I mean generic inquiries and pivot tables. So what we're looking at here is my just out-of-the-box leads generic inquiry, and I could go over there and look at all records in a grid format. But what I've done real quick is set up two pivot tables just to demonstrate how the new territory field can be displayed. I have one by status, so I can see all of my leads. And you can see here are my sales territories across the top, and I have my lead statuses down the left. And you can see here, the status of where those stand in terms of which ones have been assigned. Now, in my local install here, I've been assigning them manually, but understanding that a lot of you already running Acumatica may have a need to implement this new feature in mass, we can certainly do that with the mass update feature in the generic inquiry screen or with an import scenario. Just for contrast, if you look over here to the right a little bit, I have a territory by source tab. So I flip over to that, and it's going to show me the same data, except it still has my territories across the top, and now it has the source field from my lead screen down the side. So the point here is fairly simple to slice and dice, do whatever kind of analysis you need to based on this new field with no special reports needed. So again, that was a quick tour of the new sales territory and assignment capability within Acumatica. One thing I do want to note is that this feature is completely separate from the salesperson capability that a lot of you see in the sales orders and receivables part of the system. So there is no connection there. This operates strictly in the CRM area so far.